Hi, Nuan the Movie Slinger here with a review of Johnny English Strikes Again. I watched the first movie way back in 2003 and loved it. Didn't expect much from the sequel but loved it even more. So now we come to part 3. I'm a big fan of Rowan Atkinson, spy movies and spy parodies, and I'm really excited to talk about this movie. I went to all this trouble to put on this suit, so let's find out if this movie was worth it. Johnny English Strikes Again is directed by David Kerr and stars Rowan Atkinson as the eponymous secret agent. The movie begins with MI7 getting hacked. All the names of the currently active secret agents gets leaked onto the internet. Since they're all compromised, the head of MI7 and the Prime Minister have no other option but to call in some of the retired older agents to investigate the situation. Johnny English is working as a teacher where he's secretly training the kids to be secret agents, so he gets called back for one last mission. The best thing in this movie is obviously Rowan Atkinson as Johnny English. He's one of my all-time favorite comedians. When it comes to physical comedy, facial expressions and gags, he's in a league of his own. There's a very energetic dancing sequence. I don't know how he pulled it off. Atkinson is 63 years old right now, and he still got the moves. The dancing is also very reminiscent of Mr. Bean. Atkinson can also use something as simple as the pronunciation of a single word and make you laugh. It's not what he says, it's all in the delivery. He's very likable and entertaining to watch in this movie. What I like most about his character is that even though he's not the smartest or the smoothest secret agent, he's so patriotic and sincere and he never gives up. Ben Miller returns as Johnny's sidekick Boff. I liked Daniel Kaluuya in the last movie, but there was never any doubt in my mind of who was the perfect sidekick for Johnny. Miller and Atkinson have amazing comedic chemistry together. What I love about Boff is that even though he's smarter than Johnny, he always supports him no matter what. He's always covering up for Johnny whenever he screws up. There's a hilarious sequence where Johnny is stuck in a suit of armor and trying to chase the bad guy, and Boff can easily outrun Johnny and do what needs to be done, but he keeps waiting for Johnny to catch up. Their bromance is very adorable to watch. Olga Kurylenko plays Ophelia, the femme fatale Bond girl type character. She's really good at it, and she has played a Bond girl before. I like the scenes where Johnny is flirting with her. Watching Johnny trying and failing to smooth talk and charm the beautiful lady never gets old. Emma Thompson plays the British Prime Minister. It's not that she's bad, but I feel like her comedic talents were wasted, and she didn't really bring anything interesting to the movie. My big problem with the movie is the villain. He's this Silicon Valley tech company billionaire. So pretty much the evil version of Mark Zuckerberg. And we know who's perfect for that role. But instead we get this humorless, forgettable, just plain boring dude. The first movie had John Malkovich as the jumped-up Frenchman Pascal Sauvage. A French villain was the perfect antagonist for Johnny English because Rowan Atkinson makes a lot of French jokes. In the second movie, we had Dominic West as the villain, which is great because he's Johnny's friend and the agent Johnny looks up to, so it's very personal. Plus, Dominic West is the perfect douche that looks like the good guy but always turns out to be the bad guy. That's so predictable, it's not even a plot twist anymore. So anyway, evil Mark Zuckerberg doesn't even come close to those villains. He had no personality, he wasn't intimidating, and he wasn't even funny. The only thing I did like about the villain is that he's a digital villain while Johnny English is an analog hero, and this conflict carries over to many of the jokes. Johnny refuses to use a smartphone, so he has to use a payphone or borrow somebody's phone to make a call. MI7 gives him a hybrid car, but of course he wants an old gas-powered sports car and he makes fun of electric cars, and that has hilarious consequences. What's funny is that unlike other movies, they never play the fully nostalgic, old school is always better card. Sometimes the old school technology sucks and it's funny to see that tech fail. The story isn't anything original. In fact, it's pretty much the technology subplot of the last James Bond movie. But hey, this is a comedy. The story is not why you're paying for the movie ticket. What's great about the story are the funny situations it puts the characters in. The restaurant scene where Johnny and Boff go undercover as French waiters to steal a smartphone was really funny. There's even a GoldenEye type car chase through a mountain road where Johnny's car gets blocked by French cyclists. The virtual reality scene was great and really brought out the type of comedy Rowan Atkinson excels at. Also, the final climactic scene where Johnny is stuck in the suit of armor was really cool too. So, conclusion. The first two movies are clearly superior to this, but it is a thoroughly entertaining entry in the Johnny English series. It's great to watch Johnny English and his old sidekick Boff go on this insane mission, and both of them look like they're having a lot of fun. The new technology versus old school jokes were really funny. This being a spy movie, there's a lot of gadgets and they're used very well to great comedic effect. I really like the Johnny English music, which makes a return. It's memorable and has that spy movie vibe. The villain was disappointing compared to the last two movies. He was a waste of screen time, but thankfully he's not there a lot. And the movie is consistently funny and entertaining regardless of his performance. If you're a fan of Rowan Atkinson, then you're probably familiar with the sense of humor he brings, and I can easily recommend you to watch this movie in the theater. It's a fun time, especially with a crowd. If you're not a fan, well, what's wrong with you? Really? Well, I guess for you it's best to just wait for the Blu-ray. You know what I find amusing? The new Mission Impossible movies are great, but then there's MI2, the odd one out. The original Bond trilogy was great, but then you have the Jason Bourne movie and whatever the hell that Jeremy Renner thing was. And don't get me started on some of the crappy James Bond movies. Even the Daniel Craig movies are not consistently good. Out of all the spy movie franchises, Johnny English is probably the most consistent and has the best track record. Think about that for a second. Maybe they should stop while it's still good. So, have you guys seen Johnny English Strikes Again? What did you think about it? And what's your favorite Rowan Atkinson character? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.